Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to talk about something different, something that I don't really talk about a lot on this channel. It's a very sensitive topic, but today I'd like to address the breakdown of the black family. And the reason why this came up is I live in Canada, in Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. In the summer, we have a lot of activities because we have a very short summer here in Canada. We have like 4 or 5 months of really good weather where we can be outside and get to do a lot of stuff. So in the summer, like in Ontario, in Toronto, we are like overwhelmed with street festivals, like different type of festivals right throughout the summer. So yesterday I attended a kids festival with my family. And I am I observe a lot. My eyes are all over the place whenever I go out. I observe because we live in a very multicultural society here in Ontario. Like I try to observe cultures and just be very observant. So yesterday at this kids festival, where it's a free event, and I must say one thing with Canada is that Canada, the government over the years have tried its best to be like a family type country. It encourages healthy family life. You know, everywhere you turn in Canada, there is a park for kids where you have like recreational stuff for kids. Like right now I am in a park called Victoria Park, which is one of the biggest park in Canada, named after Queen Victoria. And as I'm here talking, there are kids all over the place. There are hundreds of kids in the park. There are swings, there are slides, there are everything that family would need to be outside, getting fresh air and just being active. So at this kids festival yesterday, it was hundreds of people, thousands of people at this festival. So me, my wife, and kids, so we were there. So I started looking around, and when I was looking around, what became evident at that point is that I was seeing representation of all different groups. Like you see like white family, they're out. You'll see like the Jewish family, they're out with their kids. The Chinese, you see like representation of all different type of families from different culture, because Ontario, in particular Toronto, is one of the most multicultural city in the entire world. So you'll meet people from all different walks of life. So being there, I started observing, and I'm like, where are the black families? And this came a bit concerning to me. So I mentioned it to my wife, and we were there and we were just looking around, and we did not see like much representation of the black family. And what we have noticed is that while looking around, we saw a few like black men, but my wife pointed out that do you see something here? Do you see something different? And I'm like, what is it? 99.9% of the black men that we saw, they were in interracial marriages. They were not with another black woman. So that sparked a conversation, is that what is going on? Like we see black men turning up, but we are seeing them in an interracial relationship. So we started having a conversation there. Is it that the black men that are showing up in these interracial relationships, and it's something that I've observed over the past 15 years living in Canada. When you go to the schools, like a lot of the drop-offs, when you see like black men, fathers dropping off their kids, like it's mostly in an interracial setting. So we started debating, is it that black men are treating women from other race in a way that they would never treat their own black women? Or is it that black women are make the relationship too toxic, so they're not staying in the relationship? It's just a conversation that we can have in the comment section also. But to me, it's a bit disheartening because, as I said, we were there. So like I made it a point. I'm there with my family, kids going on slide, trying to enjoy But I'm looking out because I'm really concerned about where we are as a people. And for the entire day that we're there, we see like a few other couples, like, you know, the black family together. You know, it was just, when you include myself and my family, you saw about 2 or 3 more. But for the vast majority, you saw, there was also some single mothers, black women by themselves with their kids. So I'm not going to assume that they're singles, you know, because I know that sometimes my wife have to force me to come out of the house, because sometimes as men, when you, especially when you're doing like, you know, hard type of intensive, labor intensive work, like you just want to sleep in, but sometimes my wife have to force me to come to these events so we can be there represented as a family. So, you know, I understand that dynamic too. Not every time you see like a you know, like a black woman, you know, struggling with like 3 kids. Sometimes that woman is married, but sometimes the husband is in bed sleeping and, you know, is not as supportive as should be. So I just wanted to have this open discussion. Like, I'm not trying to come to any conclusion. I just want us as a community to be honest, because something is definitely wrong in our community when it comes on to our black family. And I just wanted to use my platform, this moment, for us to talk about it. So you can share whatever your thoughts are in the comment section. What is happening with the black family? Because I'm Jamaican. Growing up in Jamaica, since I've been a child, I've always heard that the reason why Jamaica crime rate is so high is because we don't have the infrastructure for family. We don't have these green spaces like we see in Toronto. We don't have like child benefit, and we don't have like government assistance program to keep families together, to keep them from drowning financially. But moving to Canada, seeing that the Canadian government, the infrastructure is out of this world. You know, Canada, over the years, I know if you ask the average Canadian since the pandemic about their life, they will tell you that things are vastly different. Mortgages are skyrocketing, rent, don't even talk about grocery. Everything is like crazy. But being here for over the past 15 years, I have to be fair to say that the government in Canada has done a lot in terms of child benefit. And as I said, every major community development that happens anywhere in Canada, you have to have green space, you have to have a child-friendly area where your kids can go on swings, your kids can go on slides. There are like recreational centers with swimming pool in every community across Canada. So the government has done a lot. But my observation is that whenever I go to those spaces that are there to help, you know, in terms of the mental health, in terms of like just the development, the continuous development of a family unit, our representation is not there as much as I'd want it to be. You know, when you go there, you see every other groups of people represented in those areas, and you don't see a lot of the black family. And you know, so just, you know, as I said, I want this to be an interactive conversation. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think is happening? What is happening with us as a people, with our family? Are we not prioritizing family anymore? Why is it such a big breakdown in our community? One thing that I've discovered since living in Canada is that, and I know most places in the world are pretty similar now. Living in Toronto, it's almost impossible to be a single parent and just to have like a good structure. It's so expensive. It's so expensive living, especially in a city like Toronto. So like if you're a single mom, I'm like, I don't know how you do it as a single mom living in a city where like a 1-bedroom can cost up to $2,000 a month. So, you know, I've always believed that and even the way how Canada is structured, I've always believed that it's always better for families. It's a country that is more conducive to family living. That a husband and a wife, both people working or helping with childcare or picking up the kids at school, because it's difficult as a single parent to do that. And it is just unfortunate because even in the school system and everywhere you turn, as I said, you always see a lot of single black people trying to do it themselves. And it's mostly, you see mostly black single mothers like trying to, you know, work a 9 to 5. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy because I don't know how I can see how this can affect mental health, because, you know, we have 2 young kids and both of us work, and even just leaving a job and rushing to get to the subway that you get to the school at a particular time to pick up your child, because if not, then your child is left stranded at school. It can be very stressful, especially living in a big city like Toronto, or if you live in New York or LA or anywhere. So I've always thought that it must be a very stressful experience being a single mom, because as someone who's you know, married and we work together. Like, I pick up the kids, I'll go home and cook, I'll do stuff like that, and it's still stressful for us. So I've always imagined, what is it like to be a single parent and how hard that can be. So, you know, this conversation is, I don't know, we need solutions. We don't need to be blaming each other about the situation, because blaming each other is not going to fix the situation. But we need solutions, like in terms of how can we fix this problem, because it's obvious to me that this contributes to even the crime in our community. And I know if people try to say like this has nothing to do with crime, something is wrong with you, because this has a lot to do with crime. And it's disheartening, because even when I live in Jamaica, and you get up and you watch the news every day, it is stressful, right? It is stressful to see all these young men, you know, killing each other, robbing and stealing from the community. But when you look in Jamaica, it's like a 80% black population, 90% black population. But when you live in a place like Toronto, where the black population is about 5%, but every time you turn on the news, it's like a young black man like shooting or robbing or doing stuff. It can become stressful, because you're wondering, like, why is it that we make up 5% of the society, but just so much of the crime, you see our faces on the screen. You know, sometimes I'm like, are they just showing, you know, black crimes, or are they like, is it a case where the media is like screening the news and they're not showing these other groups, they're only focusing on black? Like, you think everything, but at the end of the day, there have to be a solution to this issue. Like, you know, I know people don't think that you have to get married to have kids anymore, but I believe that, you know, even if like a man or a woman in our community, I think it's not like 100% like solid that if you get married that you are going to end up staying together forever. But I see that even in Canada, even when you look at the numbers, most people in our community that will get married and they'll start a family, even when the relationship has fallen apart, you know, there's a greater chance that that man is going to be in this child's life, and there's a greater reason that, okay, even child support, like there will be some child support benefit. There's something there to at least keep a sense of structure, even though you're not together anymore. But I don't know. It's just disheartening. But I just wanted to start this conversation. You know, we can talk about it in the comment section. I can come and do a follow-up video. You know, what do you think is happening? And it's not, it seemed to be like a global issue. Like I hear people even in Africa now complaining about the black family structure. It's not just the Caribbean anymore. It's not just North America. What is the problem? Are we, you know, I've heard someone said that it's unfortunate because, like, if black people have enemies outside, the enemies don't need to do anything anymore because we're self-destructing from within our families, that we are destroying each other from within. But I don't know what's the solution. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think is happening to the black family? Why this massive breakdown in our family? Why is it some crazy figure, like I heard, like a 70% of our families now are born out of wedlock. I know that can be fixed because sometimes, you know, like myself as a you know, young man, my first daughter was born out of wedlock. So it doesn't mean that you can't recover from that and be like a good parent or provide a good family structure. So I know that that can be repaired, but it just seems like when you look at all the stats in our community, it just seems like we need to do something about it. So guys, so please leave a comment in the comment section. Just let me know what you think is going on. You know, if you're married, you're in a successful marriage, you know, and there's some secret that you can leave in the comment section that will help us as a community to help our marriages stay together, you can leave it in the comment section. Also, like if you are in a co-parent situation where you were either married or divorced, but you're co-parenting and you're doing it in a respectful manner, and you are able to even go to your child's graduation or special event, even though you're not together, leave some tips in the comment section and let me know how are you dealing with your situation. Because in order for us to be a strong community, the future, we have to find a way to nourish our kids, our grandkids, because they are the future, and we can't build a strong future if we are divided. And I understand, you know, we might not be together forever like in marriage, but I believe that even in divorce, people can still do that in a healthy way, like co-parent together. So guys, just let me know what you think. Sound off in the comment section, and I might have to do a follow-up video. I just felt the need to do this based on my experience yesterday. You know, just seeing thousands of family coming together, but the representation of the black family just is not looking the way that you'd hope that it for it to be. So sound off in the comment section, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.